Hello everyone, Vanguard of Valor here, and welcome back to another episode of FTL's Advanced Edition here on board the VSS Mountain, the rock cruiser Type C with her valiant crew Everest, Kilimanjaro, and Fuji. We've been unlucky so far with gathering new crew members, but so far the three we have been doing good work here, getting us through safely. We still have the swarm missiles on board, which are unfortunately largely useless to us, but we're going to hopefully be able to swap them for something better soon, or, if not, we have the money to power them up so we can use them in addition to our other weapons, and we have a good stockpile of missiles. So that might not be a bad idea either way, but I would like to try and find something better if at all possible. Thankfully, we're starting off our abandoned sector here with a quest beacon right in front of us. Let's go check it out and see if those guys were friendly or if it was just a trap after all. We are, of course, playing with some mods this time. Lord Trilobites, detailed crew portrait graphics, and detailed ship greeble graphics. We escort the ship here to the requested beacon. Much to our dismay, we're ambushed by a rebel ship. We walked right into their trap. Alright, it was a trap after all, you butts. So, let's get ready to smack these guys around. Thankfully, they only have one shield bar still. They're going to board us, which means I need to run somebody over to the doors quickly. And they've decided to attack our O2 again, which I'm totally okay with. Suffocate, you fools. Alright, Crystal Heavy, knock him over, because this guy can hurt us pretty bad with that halberd of theirs. So we're going to try and pike them before they get a chance by knocking down their systems here. Turn off the O2 so they suffocate faster. And, oh, we got lucky there. We sure got lucky there. Alright, so we got into the helm, which is unfortunate, but we should be able to pretty easily beat him with Everest. Turn the O2 back on. Crystal Heavy in the helm here to prevent them from running. Excellent. Enemy ship appears to be powering up its FTL drive and is trying to escape, and that's exactly why we tried to stop them. And we're going to kill them with the next pike beam, because they shouldn't be able to get their shields up fast enough to stop us, and this should do 4 damage, which will kill them. They try and surrender. Alright, you win! Here's some equipment from our stores, leave us alone! But we're going to not accept their offer, we are going to try and murder them. Nice try there, Rebel Fighter. Nice try. Ship explodes, even behind a substantial collection of useful scrap material, giving us 2 missiles, a drone part, and 16 scrap, which I think means taking their offer would have been more profitable to us, but we rarely take the offer. Rarely do we. Alright, with 107 scrap on hand, we're going to keep jumping. Distress beacon over there looks promising. This is a big, empty sector. Let's jump over here first, though. What's here instead? Oh, butts. An image of some weak and hungry humans comes onto our screen. Those metal bastards think they can just absorb half our engines and leave us here to die. I hope you understand they need to take your ship by force. No, if you just asked us, we take you home. Trying to take our ship by force is a great way to get yourself killed with our lack of oxygen on board ship, because we can pretty easily suffocate the heck out of you. Alright, like so. You really want to go to that side, do you? Okay, I'm not going to question your sanity, I'm just going to question how sane you are. They're getting through these doors really fast though, because there's so many of them. Thankfully, we can now start closing the doors behind them to really mess these guys up. We are going to turn our O2 back on though, because a lot of these rooms that we're actually in now are starting to run out of air. Thankfully though, they split up, which makes them a lot less dangerous. This one still needs to have no air, though, because we're about to bust in there. There we go, you fools. Now you're all dead. That's what you get. Alright. Bit of tactical movement and a lot of lack of air can easily deal with any boarding problem. Let us get our crew back to their positions once our air goes back into the rest of the ship. There we go. Send them back to spots. This should be okay, hopefully. That was an unfortunate beacon that we've just jumped into, but hopefully luck will be on our side in the future. Distress beacon, what do you have for us? When we get to the beacon, we quickly try to locate the source of the distress call. As we're looking, the signal blinks out. It's then that we notice a small fleet of scavenger ships absorbing debris from a large battle nearby. We can't help but wonder where the distress signal came from, but we decide not to risk pressuring the fleet. Well, that's dumb. I've never seen that event before, but we just jumped to a distress beacon which was nothing. Alright, let's keep going. This sector is awful. A Federation encrypted signal is being broadcast from a nearby planet. Okay, let's send an away party and investigate. We find a hidden Federation outpost. They message us. Quick, we just got word from a sister outpost that they've been discovered by the rebels and are under attack. If you're still loyal to the Federation, go save them. Gives a quest marker add to our map. We get 2 missiles, a drone part, and 11 scrap. Alright, if we can go save these guys, that'll be valuable to us. It's kind of out of the way I was planning on going, but we'll go this way. We get a free crew, probably a weapon, and some good resources if we can save this. Or repairs, I think, is instead of a weapon. We arrive in the sector to see a small outpost being bombarded by an automated drone. This must be the Federation base we were told about. Alright, well we can't use the crystal heavy to pierce the shields here, but they can't hurt us either, so I don't mind. Throw in the swarm missiles, and we should be able to blast these guys down eventually. This is going to be a slow battle, but it should be one that we can win handily. We'll power up the swarm so we can knock down the shields, and then we should have them at our disposal. So it's going to take a long time for the first salvo to happen, as is the problem with swarm missiles. But this weapon makes it even possible for us to fight this guy, whereas otherwise it would not be. So swarm missile the shields, hopefully these all hit. Hey, there's some accuracy. Alright, let's crystal heavy the shields now. And we turn off the swarm and go back to pike beam mode, because the pike beam will take these guys to pieces. Next crystal heavy is going to go into the engines, I think, and that should guarantee we kill them with a pike beam. Alrighty. Not quite destroyed, but that's fine, doesn't need to, it just did the damage. And goodbye auto assault. Very nice. We scrap the wreckage, getting a missile, a drone part, and 11 scrap, and with the threat gone, we contact the Federation outpost. They respond, saying,
"Our location is being compromised. Take everything you can, and please drop our survivors off at the next station."
One soldier offers to stay and fight, getting us 13 scrap, a flak gun Mark 1, and Remo the Mantis. Awesome, that's perfect. That is exactly what we wanted, something that takes down shields. So we'll combine that with the crystal heavy and the pike beam, and we should have some serious firepower in our hands. We can afford to sell the swarm missiles now, because we have something else that can actually deal with shields. Plus Remo is here, which means we have somebody else who can deal with borders and can take over weapon control, which is awesome. So we're going to rename Remo. You have to be a mountain to suit with the theme here. I am going to rename you Logan after the mountain in Canada. There you go. So Everest, Kilimanjaro, Fuji, and Logan. We've got plenty more mountains to get if we can get some more crew. But I think what we're going to do right now is we're going to power up a weapon control and buy some power to run it so we can actually use this thing. Alright, that is awesome. I'm also going to swap this around so the crystal heavy is most likely to break and the pike beam is least likely to break because it has the longest charge up time. I'll stick the swarm over here for now. Alright, so that was a pretty good setup. We got a crew and a weapon and some scrap. Could have used getting some repairs there, but I'm not going to complain about what we got. Let's keep jumping and see what else we can do here. Hopefully we don't get any Lanius borders. By the time we notice the rebel ship behind the beacon, it's too late to avoid a fight. Alright, Flak 2, Burst 2. That is a crazy strong enemy ship. Like, that is a lot of firepower for this early in the game. Thankfully they only have 1 bar of shields, but jeez. They are not messing around. Alright, we're going to flak them in the weapons here to hopefully prevent them from using this on us. There, we knocked out the laser. Crystal heavy, go. There we go. It's less than optimal here, because we won't be able to use the pike beam for a little while. But at the moment, I don't care that much. I just want to make sure we didn't get hit with a flak to the face, because that would have hit pretty bad. Logan got his first kill, although it cost him a good amount of health. Let's fire into the shields on this side. Not that it matters. As long as we break the shields, we can hit them with the pike beam, which we're going to fire in through here. There we go. Taking out the rest of the weaponry as well. Crystal heavy, you're going to knock out their helm. Thank you. Now they can't run. We're going to flak them in the weapons to make sure they can't hit us with the burst laser. Might even hit them in the engines as well. Nope. But it did knock out the weapons completely. We get a frantic message.
"Take everything we have. Just don't kill us."
3 missiles, a drone part, and 14 scrap. I got 39 missiles. I don't need any more of those. Next Crystal Heavy will destroy them. They have no dodge chance. This is a guaranteed kill. Go, Crystal Heavy, go. Awesome. Alright. Goodbye, Rebel Fighter. Ship explodes, even behind a substantial collection of useful scrap material, giving us a missile drone part and 27 more scrap. We'll take it. Okay. So, let's keep jumping. Might hold on to the swarm missiles, might sell them, depending on what options we get in the next couple jumps. We're going to check out this area over here, though, and see what's what. Alania's merchant appears to have a significantly improved translator, as we clearly understand their message. Metal content more than sufficient. Does your ship care to exchange resources for our excess metal? Well, we can trade them 3 missiles for 30 scrap, which is amazing. Or we can try and buy their translation device, but I think you need 40 scrap for that, so we're not going to try and buy the Lanius there. We're just going to sell them the 3 missiles, because that's nothing for a ton of scrap. After the exchange is completed, they leave without a word. Alright. That was a nice little return for us there. I would have liked to maybe get the Lanius, but I don't think we could have afforded it. Let's keep jumping. We arrive at the beacon and notice a small rebel ship chasing Lanius scavengers away from a wrecked rebel battleship. As soon as rebel notices us and moves into attack, the Lanius ships return to their prey like flies on garbage. That's not very nice. Artemis missiles and heavy laser. Well, the Artemis are the big dangers here. You need to go away. Alright, we're also going to send Fuji over here to help you, Logan, because you're going to need a bit of extra firepower, I think. These humans are still a bit tough for you to swallow. We can flak them in the weapons, though, so we're going to try and stop them from firing the missile. We were too late. Please miss. And they hit us directly in the helm, which means they're absolute jerks. Alright, next shot's going in the shields. There we go. Crew back to stations. Oh, you don't have a specified station yet. That is your station, Logan. Pike beam. Okay, that didn't work. I guess the shields came up fast enough and absorbed the shot. Thankfully, the missiles are still down. We're going to fire the flak rather, and hopefully get the pike beam through this time. Yes. All right, pike beam, you're going right in there. Good damage. This should keep the missiles locked down. Crystal heavy, you're going to fire again, knock out the shields completely, then the flak can hit the weapons again. The ship is trying to power up its FTL drive and is attempting to escape, which is not what we want to see. Flak, you're going to hit them in the weapons so they can't missile us, please. There we go. We get a frantic message.
Take everything we have, just don't kill us.
3 fuel, 1 drone part, and 12 scrap. I don't think we're going to accept that surrender. Fuel's nice, but I think we can afford to destroy them here. Pike, do your work. There we go. Rebel Invader is destroyed. Ship explodes, leaving behind a substantial collection of useful scrap material. Gets us 2 fuel, 2 missiles, and 27 scrap. I'd say that was better than the other offer. I'd say that it was. Logan is getting injured. I may want to medicinal airlock him soon, but we're going to hold on to him for a little bit longer. I think Fuji got the kill there, unfortunately, but whatever. We'll deal. 91 scrap is a nice thing to have on hand, but there's no stores over here for us to spend it at, which is unfortunate. What's at our next beacon? An unidentified ship is badly damaged and still being assaulted by a space pirate. The victim begins a distress message until the pirate cuts in and offers to split the bounty if we sit tight. Well, the bounty here offers not bad, but we're going to try and be a hero and attack the pirate for double rewards. The pirate ship stops its pursuit and locks weapons onto us. Alright, laser and bombs. Well, laser means we're safe. Bombs might not be safe, though. We're going to save up for a full charge Alpha Strike here. Use our weapons in sync instead of firing them one at a time like we were doing earlier, trying to rush down systems. Small bomb is a miss, which is good, so we're safe. That's actually a 2-shot heavy laser, but we're still safe from it. We're going to flak them in the shields. Only got 1 shot through. Crystal heavy, knock a bar shields down. Thank you. Alright, now the flak can fire again and hopefully knock down the rest of the shield so our pike beam can actually do some damage here. There we go. Pike beam, you're going to fire down through here, getting a nice selection of rooms. Very nice. Crystal heavy, you're going to knock out their weaponry so they can't small bomb us and cause us any trouble. There we go.
Fine. Our previous offer was not generous enough. Let's improve it.
5 fuel, 1 drone part, and 13 scrap. Well, that fuel is really appealing, but hopefully we get double rewards, which should mean we get about twice as much scrap, and we might get that much fuel anyway. So we're going to reject the offer and continue the assault. We're risking getting less fuel here in other rewards, but we should still get a better reward if we get double. If the enemy ship, or rather if the ship they were attacking flew away, then I should have taken that offer. But I think we're probably better off if we can get rewards from 2 places than just taking a surrender. Wow, okay. Pirate ship explodes, leaving behind a substantial collection of useful scrap. We go to examine the ship we just saved, getting 30 scrap from the wreckage. Upon closer inspection, we realize the ship under attack was a rebel scout. It's too damaged to put up much of a fight, so we're just going to destroy it and salvage it. We're close to the exit anyway. I don't think we need too many more jumps at this point. Let's just destroy it. We strip the ship out of anything useful and leave its crew to hope help arrives. Gets us 1 fuel, 1 drone part, and 11 scrap. We are terrible, terrible people. Alright, we got 1 more jump and we can get out of here. Could have gone for 2 more jumps, but I mean, you never know if you're going to get anything good from those jumps anyway. We stumble across a badly damaged Lanius craft. It jumps away as soon as it sees us. Looking around the area, we discover a number of destroyed rebel automated ships. It must have been quite the fight. We scrap what remains, getting 1 fuel, 2 missiles, and 29 scrap. Alright, well that's not bad. We're going to jump to the exit here with 161 scrap. We might want to buy upgraded shields again. But I'm tempted to hold on to this money for a store so we can get something like cloaking. Upgraded shields would be nice, but I think we're going to risk it. Let's jump to the exit and keep going. We arrived at the long-range beacon. When the FTL drive is charged, we can jump to the next sector. Here we find a Rebel combat ship that's been reassigned as an emergency supply vessel. The local civilians are apparently in need of help, and the Rebels are rising to the occasion. We're going to kill the Rebels, because we kill Rebels. We're not going to steal from the civilians, though, because that's generally not a good idea. Unfortunately, we're probably not going to get a good reward from this no matter what we do, but we're going to try our best anyway. They got a lot of lasers on this thing, though. That's going to be bad. That chain laser and burst laser 2 combo could potentially hurt pretty bad if their timing is good. Plus, this is potentially going to knock out some of our flak shots, which is going to make it even harder for us to actually hurt these guys. We got through, though. Pike beam. Do your work. There we go. Now they're hurting. Crystal heavy, you're going to knock out the rest of the shields. There we go. Now these guys are in for some trouble. Flak, knock them over again. This should actually kill them if all these hit. Oh, we shot down the drone. Really? Alright, whatever. Crystal heavy, destroy them. Thank you. Goodbye, Rebel Rigger. You did your best. With the Rebel ship destroyed, we take the time to collect what little scrap remains. They had already made their delivery to the civilians. Gets us 2 missile, a drone part, and 11 scrap. You know what? This one time, we're going to leave the civilians alone. We leave the civilians with the supplies, though without the Rebel that was running supplies to them, it's unlikely they'll live long. Well, you know what? So be it. That's one of the things that has to happen in these wars sometimes. Let's jump to the next sector. We have Mantis homeworlds or rock-controlled sector to choose from. Well, going to the homeworlds is generally good, but we don't have a teleporter, so we can't take advantage of it. And honestly, I'm not sure if we want to go to Mantis homeworlds. All the boarding is going to wreck us right now, because we still don't have a very good boarding crew. I think we're going to go to the rock-controlled sector, odd though it may seem. Just because we have a better chance of actually surviving it. There's a better chance of missile weapons, but our dodge is pretty good, and if we can afford to get the cloak that I'm trying to get, we should be absolutely fine. Let's go over here and see. The Rock people are a powerful and proud race. It's not unheard of to have a peaceful journey through their lands, but we shouldn't count on it. Alright, well. Just speaking right off the bat, let's go check it out. A ship without life forms at a nearby dense asteroid field is giving off the distress call. Shall we investigate? It could be dangerous. But we have rock plating, so we can make a thorough search for the ship without fear of stray asteroids. We find the decaying remains of some kind of ship coated with ice or crystal. We send some crew aboard to explore. Nearly everything is either destroyed or unidentifiable, but one of the weapons appears salvageable and is a strange stasis pod that catches our eye. Well then. It looks like a massive asteroid is in a direct collision course with the derelict ship. We have to pull our crew out, but they want to grab what they can first. What do they take? The weapon and spare scrap or the stasis chamber? Well, we have a crystal crew already. So honestly, getting the stasis chamber is not a big deal. But it could be fun if we could get to the rock homeworlds later on and actually find the exit beacon. We don't have the official crystal crew, so it won't come up as a quest beacon if we get there. We could find it anyway. It would be good for us to get a weapon, though, and some spare scrap, because then we actually have some more firepower, which would give us a better chance of actually living through this, because the crystal heavy is a pretty bad weapon. Even for only 1 power, it's kind of awful. If we could swap out for 1 more power and get a better weapon in there, we'd be a lot better off. I don't know. If we didn't already have a crystal crew, I'd grab the stasis chamber, but I'm going to grab the weapon and the spare scrap, because right now we need as much help as we can get to make sure we're going to survive this. This is hard mode, we need to take the firepower boosts. Oh, that's a good one too. Our crew grabs what they can and returns to the ship before the asteroid hits. We take a look at what we've recovered once we move clear of the asteroid field, getting 16 scrap and a heavy laser Mark II. That is a nice weapon. Unfortunately, it's not super efficient, but we can still use it with our other weapon combinations if we take out the swarm missiles. And we can use all of this together. Thing about this is we really need some more shield breaking. If we can get a flak 2 maybe instead of the flak 1, then we'd be laughing. We can use the pike beam heavy 2 with flak 2 and we just absolutely destroy people. Because this thing gives us 4 damage with a lot of fire, breach, and stun chance shots. And it's pretty nice. It takes the same charge time as the crystal heavy, which shows you just how bad this thing is. But, yeah, that could be really good. I'm tempted to spend some money to upgrade to be able to use it. There's no stores in sight. We might not get any in this sector either, so I'm going to spend... Oh, it's so much scrap, though. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about this. I don't know about this. We're going to put 1 more power bar in here, so that if I need to turn off the pike beam, I can then power the heavy laser instead, and that'll give us more shield breaking power if we can't use the pike. It's expensive, though, so I don't really want to dedicate too heavily to it. Let's jump over this way and see what else we can do. That was a great event. Unfortunately, we chose not to take the Crystal Crew for various reasons. Let's keep moving. Our shields are being taxed as they deflect the debris from an asteroid field. As we weave our way between the rocks, we happen upon a rock pirate stronghold. Register teleport signatures and hear shouts aboard the ship. Alright, we've been boarded. Thankfully, there's only one crew, and we should be able to deal with them pretty reasonably. Let's send our Mantis over the doors quickly. Just to be a butthead. Suffocate this guy a little, and we'll run back and fight him personally. Just take his health down a little bit, if we can. Holy cow. Oh, I should have taken out both rooms. That was definitely a mistake on my part. That is a Lido missile, nothing too dangerous. Hits us anyway, though. Oh, what? That was amazing! The asteroid hit the missile. That was amazing. Okay. No question. That was super cool. Alright, we're gonna knock out the air to these rooms. There we go. They did just small bomb both of our crew there because I messed up, but whatever. Let's put the O2 back in these rooms quickly. There we go. Fix our shields up, and then we can send you back into your room. We'll leave the air in these actually open. He'll be suffocating for a bit longer. We're gonna go and fire now. Flak to the shields. Please miss me again. Nope. Hit me in the engines that time, you jerk. Alright, Pike Beam. You're gonna fire right down the length of the ship. You should be able to hit most of systems, actually, from here. That'll do. And Crystal Heavy, you're going for the shields, please. There we go. They resisted the hull damage, but they should have still taken the system damage. We resisted the hull damage, which is nice. We're going to close all these doors. We're going to turn the O2 back online. We need to get our shields up and running. We're going to go fight this Rockman. Small bomb, don't hit anything important, please. And you hit our engines again. Well, that's bad, because they're still firing missiles at us, but there's nothing we can do about that at the moment. We're going to fire this at the weapons here to hopefully stop them from doing that again. And they hit us again. There we go. Now the missiles are offline. Crystal Heavy is ready to fire at the shields to make them vulnerable to the asteroid field and whatever else might happen here. Logan is actually losing this fight still. The rock ship hails.
Enough. We were told aliens were a threat to our ways, and you have proved as much. Take this and leave us in peace.
2 fuel, a drone part, and 18 scrap. We will not accept their surrender, not after all the damage you've done to us. We're going in for blood. Goodbye. Does our Mantis win? No, our Mantis loses the fight. Oh, Logan. Really letting the side down here. Ship explodes, even behind a substantial collection of useful scrap material, getting us 1 fuel, 2 missiles, and 26 more scrap. Well, geez, Logan, I thought you were going to be helping us out here, but you just kind of let everybody down. Let's go punch him to death with our captain. He has 1 health left. Boop. Alright, back over there. Everest didn't even take damage. So close and yet so far. Alright, Logan back over to this side. We're going to have Fuji fix up this since there's no air in the room, and we definitely need to do repairs here. I don't like suffocating our Crystal crew, but they're the one who has the least penalties from it, so we might as well. Alright, job done. Let's get some air back in that room. And we'll get our crew back in there to actually repair it up again. That is unfortunate. We took a lot of hits there. We're down to about 1/3 of our hull as well. We've got a good amount of scrap on hand, but we're going to have to see what we can do with it to make ourselves a bit more effective here. If we can get all these weapons going early, then we might actually be able to glass cannon our way through this thing. We'll see. Buying more shields is the safe option, for sure. But, we'll see what actually happens once we get a little bit further into this mess. So, 139 scrap. We have a distress beacon over here. Might as well go check it out. You never know what you're going to get from these things. It appears that the distress beacon is coming from the surface of a nearby moon, where our sensors are picking up a single life form. Let's go down to the surface to investigate. We find a colony that seems to have been recently attacked. Exploring the devastation, we find a lone survivor. Well, we can invite him to join our crew or take him home to his family on a nearby planet in this system. So, our options right now are get another crew member, which wouldn't be bad. Having 5 crew at this point would be nice. We'd actually leave somebody on the doors to protect us from boarders. Or we can take him home to his family on a nearby planet in the system, which is either going to get us scrap or repairs. Repairs would be really nice, but I think we need a 5th crew right now, so we're going to invite him to join us. He states that he was an infantryman before being stranded. He happily offers his services for a time in exchange for getting off that rock. Well, we got another rock man, unfortunately, which makes sense given that we're in the rock homeworlds, but I would have liked basically any other race. An NG would have been good. A Lanius would have been interesting, not necessarily great. I guess I would have really wanted an NG, that's what I was hoping for. Someone who can actually do repairs. But I'll take a rock man, we'll stick him in the doors here. We need to rename you though, Charlie. You need to be a mountain. Charlie is hardly appropriate for rockmen of your stature. You are going to be renamed... What are we going to call you? You're going to be Blanc. There we go, named after Mont Blanc in France, or on the Italian. It's a bit of a disputed region. France and Italy have both sort of owned it in different periods of time, but we're going to call it Mont Blanc after the French version of the name. And let's keep going. So we have Everest, Kilimanjaro, Fuji, Logan, and Blanc here. Let's keep going. We see a small station fitted with hundreds of repair drones. We receive an automated message. We don't know who you are and we don't care, but this is the right place for some ship repair. Oh, fantastic. This is exactly what we needed. Repair 10 damage for 20 scrap. Good cost, and that brings us right up to where we want to be. Thank you for your business. No refunds. Done and done, sir. Okay, that was pretty ideal there for that jump. Now we're going to go around this way and probably try and make it to the exit within a reasonable amount of time. Let's get jumping and see... Oh, we jumped into a sun. Okay, what do we have here? A rock ship is silhouetted against the sun and supernova. They hail.
Even out here you follow us. We only wish to be left alone.
Out of panic or anger, they charge their weapons. This is a scary-looking ship. Heavy ion and a halberd beam. They can wreck us if we don't get successful here. They're going to be boarding us in a second, so we're going to have to go deal with them, but we have Logan ready for that. We're going to need a really good flak shot here, or a good flak crystal heavy combo, otherwise we're not going to be able to get through. Also, we need that ion to miss. Please miss. Nope. Okay, this is going to hurt. Flak, go. Oh, ouch. Alright, knock out the weapons, please. We need that to not happen again. There we go. Halberd's offline, so we should be safe-ish now. O2 is broken, though, so we're going to have to go fix that. That halberd is bad business. Thankfully, the weapons are damaged now, so they're not going to be super quick to get back on us, but we'll see. Flak, hit them in the shields. We need to hit the shields with the crystal heavy this time. Oh, we got all the way through. Fantastic. Okay, break them. Slice them right open. Alright, we have to put some fires out as well here, otherwise we're going to be in trouble. We can't use our mantis for this very much, otherwise they're just going to die. I'm going to move them out of the room, because honestly they're not helping even. We're going to send Blanc over. Actually, I'm just going to vent this one. Can you put this out before it damages the ship significantly? Probably. We're going to flak them in the shields and then crystal heavy the weapons again to prevent them from actually fixing those and then being able to hit us again. There we go. Now their weapons are offline. You need to get out of there. Don't know why I sent you in there after I opened the door. Alright, everything is back to normal. We're going to send you guys back to positions. You have a new crew position in there. Close that door, please. Save crew positions. There we go. Alright, pike beam is ready to fire after the next flak goes off. Please break at least 2 shields. There we go. And zap them. Alright, crystal heavy, you can kill him here. Please do so. There we go. Pirate Scout's dead. Get our rewards and get out of here quickly. Ship explodes, leaving behind a substantial collection of useful scrap material, getting us 2 fuel, a drone part, and 31 scrap. And we can exit before the flare happens, so let's do that. Get out of there. The captain of a rock freighter lost in the asteroid field hails us.
Our coordinates led us here, but only death greets us. What must be, mustn't be. Death to all.
We power up the battle systems and wonder how long they've been stuck here. Burst Laser Mark III. Wow, that is some serious weaponry. Mini Beam, not so much, but this is a nasty piece of work. Hopefully we should be able to knock it over before it gets a chance to do anything, though, because a well-placed flak to the weapons here, followed by a crystal heavy shot, should be enough to deal with whatever they've got here. Yep, there goes the big weapon. Alright, we're good now. We can take our time, knock over the shields more traditionally, and fry them with a big laser. This is where the pike beam shines. That is a 6 damage attack, so is that. Can we hit 7 anywhere in here? Maybe if we're really careful with our pike beam positioning, we get 7 like that. There we go. Look at that. That is a beautiful beam. Alright, crystal heavy, knock out the rest of their shields, please. Thank you. Flak, knock out the rest of their weapons, please. Yay! The rock ship moves into a defensive position and transmits a white flag signal. They seem willing to buy their lives. What happened to what will be, my friends? We're not going to accept your surrender now. Not after your big words. Alright, let's get this right again. Pike beam is right about there. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Goodbye, rock fighter. You just got cut in half. Ship explodes, leaving behind a missile, drone part, and 22 scrap. We'll take it. Alright, 172 scrap on hand. We still can't use anything at the store yet, or rather with the ship yet, because we're stuck in hazard locations. So let's jump on and see what else we can do. A motley collection of rock ships are stationed around this beacon. They like to have resorted to a pirate's life. Defensive maneuvers. Also, they have really big missile launchers. And lots of lasers. I don't like this guy at all. These rock ships are scary. Alright, they've boarded us. We're going to send 2 crew to go deal with them. Oh, I got off the doors, though. That was dumb. Alright, you're going to come in here, then. You're going to come back on doors, because what does it matter, really? You're going to be doing supporting fire anyway, so you won't be taking any damage. We need to knock this missile launcher over, though. That is our priority. Absolutely priority. So let us fire this at the weapons. And this at the weapons. And we missed both times. Pike beam. Time to do a little tiny bit of damage. I need you to hit this. Well, we didn't turn off the missile launcher, so we're probably going to take a nasty missile to the face here. Unless our evasion is real good. We have 45% evasion, which is pretty darn good. Max helm and engines. But I need this to not hit me. Nope. Hits us for 4 damage. Ouch. Well, that's unfortunate. Go fix. We're going to have to fire on them some more then. Save up for the pike beam. And fire the flak. There we go. Pike beam. You're going to fire right through here again. Take out most of their systems. And Crystal Heavy, I'm firing you back at the weapons. I need that missile turned off. Thank you. Okay, we should only take 1 of them then. I don't think they're going to get a chance to fix it up further than that. That hurt real bad, though. Alright, keep firing. This should kill them if we get 3 hits here. That one's not going to hit those. We're probably not going to get any damage. We did! What do you know? Okay. Lucky us. Pirate Scout goes down. Ship explodes even behind a substantial collection of useful scrap material, giving us 2 missiles, a drone part, 28 scrap, and a shield overcharger. More nice things to sell. And there's a store right over there. How lucky is that? We're gonna go check that out, see what we can do there. I'd like to buy a cloak if at all possible with this money. That's what we've been saving it up for anyway. What do they have here? With the local rock settlement so unwilling to trade with other life forms, an opportunistic Mantis crew has postponed its piracy activities and set up shop to catch any passing trade. Do you sell cloaks here? You don't. You sell other systems and missile weapons, which we don't want. I will sell you my swarm missiles, though, and my shield overcharger, so we have a bazillion scrap right now, which is awesome. This is still worth nothing for some silly reason, but whatever. 262 scrap on hand. We could buy a teleporter, but I don't really want to be using teleporting right now. It's effective, but it's not really what I want to be doing. I might buy a little bit of repair still. Bring us back up to 2/3 health, because otherwise we're at a bit of risk. Might buy some fuel as well, because you always want to make sure you have fuel on hand. That's a good amount of money spent, but we still have a ton on hand. There's a distress beacon over there we're going to go check out, most likely. Probably only going to be able to do 3 more jumps before we're out of space, but we'll see. If we check out our ship menu, though, I'd love to spend some more money on weapons and just go full all-in on firepower. I'm kind of tempted to try it. It's a risky maneuver, though, because it means that we're going to be a lot more vulnerable to taking damage ourselves. Very much glass cannon style. And we won't be able to run the power to do it without stealing power from our engines or other systems. But we can try it, and you know what? I think we're gonna. We have a good combo of powerful weapons here, so we're gonna go full silly mode and activate all of these at the same time. We got a lot of potential firepower under our belts now. Let's go to this distress beacon, and hopefully we don't get destroyed for not having higher level shields. We find the source of the distress call, a small research station. It appears a small laboratory fire got out of control and is threatening to destroy the station. Their fire suppression system isn't responding. Well, this is a wonderful event for us to find. Since we have Rock Crew, this is a free augment. Hopefully we get a really good one. Rock Crew, go put that fire out. Our rock soldier tears through the airlock directly into the fire. We've never seen someone that large move that fast. It disperses as much fire suppressant as possible into the heart of the blaze, and eventually the fires start to die down. Seems silly that we wouldn't have seen rock crew move quickly when we're on a rock ship. I've said that before, though. The other thing people have mentioned is that if every time you get this event you've never seen a rock crew move that fast, it means if you find enough of them, your rock crew will be moving at light speed. Either way, though, we contact the survivors. With most of the fire under control, the scientists are able to help secure the station. They offer us their sincere gratitude and a generous reward of 38 scrap and a battery charger. Well, that was not what I was hoping for from our augment reward. That could have been much better. Alright, whatever. Can't win them all. Let's keep going. We find a disabled rock transport floating near the beacon. We consider stripping it of useful parts, but are uncertain why it's there in the first place. We're going to strip the ship. It might explode, I think, but we're going to strip the ship anyway. A rock patrol jumps in while we're salvaging the ship. They message us.
Filthy pirates, prepare to die.
Without explaining our mission will convince them of our need. We got 2 missiles, a drone part, and 18 scrap. That'll do. And it's time for us to fight these guys. They've got a big missile launcher, but we should be able to burst them down with our super firepower to knock their weapons out before they get a chance to use it. And they've boarded us again, which is unfortunate. We're going to send our Kilimanjaro Rockman over here to help Logan out, since he still needs a little bit more weapons training before he's really a reasonable fighter. Everybody else has actually been stealing his kill experience, which is not great. Blanc is actually a well-trained fighter, too. I forgot about that. Huh. Alright, so the flak is ready. We're almost going to try and burst them down. Flak, fire at the weapons. Get in there. Alright, heavy laser. Crystal heavy. Go. No missiles for you, son. This is what we're planning on. That is what we like to see. Did Kilimanjaro get the kill? Yes, he did. I was looking away to watch the lasers, and I missed giving the experience to our Mantis. That's annoying. We have a ton of scrap again, though, so I could probably afford to buy some more power bars already, which would be a very good idea for us. Let's knock these guys over again, though. This is the end for you. And they try and surrender. The rockship moves into a defensive position and transmits a white flag signal, seeming willing to buy their lives. However, this offer... 4 missiles? I got 50 missiles. I don't need that offer, thank you very much. Goodbye, Rock Investigator. Get out of here. Ship explodes, leaving behind a substantial collection of useful scrap material, giving us a missile drone part and 25 scrap. Alright, that's awesome. We're going to spend that. Pretty quickly. That means that we're almost already recovered from our silly spending. Let's jump to the exit beacon here and see what we get. We arrive at a long-range beacon. When the FTL drive is charged, we can jump to the next sector. Here we find an abandoned mining station on a nearby moon. A quick scan shows no life forms, however we discover a usable drone schematic. Another ion intruder, that's pretty good. That's another 32 scrap item we can sell. And 17 scrap directly. Very nice. Alright, we could jump over here to the store, but it's probably not worth it because we're going to have to fight our way back out anyway. We have a lot of firepower, but we're not really well defended against these super enemies. So I think we're just going to jump to the next sector. Next sector is Zoltan Homeworld, which is an awesome sector to find. Hopefully we'll be able to get some Zoltan shields out of this and make this run hilarious. But let's see. Off to the Zoltan Homeworlds we go. We arrive in Zoltan space. From what we've heard, they anticipated the coming war and made preparations to hold their borders. Well, we'll see about that, won't we? However, we're going to see about that next time. So, thank you all for watching, everybody. This has been Vanguard of Valor, playing some FTL Advanced Edition here with the Rock Cruiser Type C, the VSS Mountain and her successful crew thus far, Everest, Kilimanjaro, Fuji, Logan, and Blanc, all famous high mountains, tall mountains, rather. And... what we're going to do is I'm going to direct you to the links below this video so that you can find the mods being used for yourself, all the variety of visual mods that I combined myself in their individual formats, as well as Lord Trilobite's Detailed Crew Portrait mod and the Detailed Ship Greebles graphics mod, which you can find in the links below. If you enjoyed the episode, let me know something about it in the comments while you're down there, and I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Until then, bye-bye.